Hey guys, it's Griffin, the host and GM of the Hideous Laughter podcast. Boy, are we excited for you guys to listen to episode 6. We've got all kinds of fun stuff happening in the crypt with our players, and we're just so jazzed that we've gotten such a great response from all the people on social media and all over the internet for the stuff that we've been producing. Now, we'd really like if you guys could reach out to us. We're on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. On Twitter and Snapchat, we're at Laughter Hideous. And on Insta, Tumblr, and Facebook, we're at Hideous Laughter Podcast. If you like what you hear, we'd really love if you guys could leave us a review, leave us 5 stars. If you guys can spread the word, it really helps us spread to new listeners. And we're really excited to kind of keep going. We've been having a blast playing. Actually, really the best thing you could do is just tell a friend. If you tell one of your buddies, word of mouth is kind of how these things spread. And we're just super thrilled that you're listening. So I'll cut it off short because I really want to get into this episode. Introducing episode 6, Tales from the Crypt Fart.
Like liquor and things that go boo? Then buckle up, listener, cause this one's for you. Prepare yourself for the Hideous Laughter Podcast.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Hideous Laughter Podcast. Geez, guys, we got something special sitting in front of us right now.
Sure is.
Haley,
Griffin.
we're not doing the standard format because we're all drinking the same thing. You want to tell the people what we're drinking?
Yeah, so a few days ago, we put out some posts asking what kind of drink suggestions do you guys have. We had a lot of suggestions from a few people. We rolled some die, figured out whose we were going to drink, and we ended up drinking the Miami Vice, suggested by the Instagram user at Matt M. Keen. It is a half pina colada, half strawberry daiquiri, basically.
Yum, yum, yum.
Very tropical and very, very fruity.
Just in time for fall.
Yeah, guys. You're all in for a treat since everyone's starting with the hard liquor today. I want to apologize to my fans first. I want to apologize to my family and friends and the fine folks at Hams Brewing. If all goes according to plan, I'm going to get back into the hams later, but I am drinking a Miami Vice right now.
Yeah, we're all further down than you are, Steve. Okay, apparently I'm getting ready to hit the bourbon again, so. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh, he's trying, folks. He's gonna get a brain freeze. Oh God.
There's a lot more solid material in this than a hams. It makes it a little difficult to slurp into the mic.
Yeah. Pink and crunchy, just how you like it.
Big pink and crunchy.
Big, pink and crunchy.
Yep.
So, guys, we left you off in kind of a spooky scenario. You're all in this crypt, opening a stone coffin, and you made perception checks. Nothing. Now I actually have a story from real life about being in a crypt. When I studied abroad in Ireland, everybody called me CF, and that's obviously not my initials. The story came from the time when we went to this old church in Dublin, and we went underneath it into the crypts, and it was actually kind of cool. They had like those bog mummies in the crypts, so like actual dead people in there. The tragic part was that while I was down in the crypt, it's kind of like a one way in, one way out scenario where like you have to go down a couple steps and then you're in this crypt and you're like around the mummies. And then to get back out, you have to pass everybody else. So I couldn't like sneak off into a corner or anything. And I was getting some bubble gut from all the Guinness I had the night before.
Yep.
Thought I might be able to let out a squeaker. Was way louder than that. So emerged from the crypt and was dubbed the new name Crypt Fart, CF, which I was called for the entirety of my stay in Ireland by everyone that studied abroad with me. So, hopefully your characters can do something half as epic as that tonight. But before we get into Pathfinder, how's everybody doing? Any new updates? You guys excited for anything in particular about your characters? We're heading into our second combat, and some of you actually get to use your real weapons instead of your fists. So what do you think? Emily, we'll start with you.
Oh, I get to start again. I'm excited to get to try out some of Lyra's abilities in actual combat, not just trying to chase some people off and do non-lethal damage. I feel like this could be the instance where a little bit more force is required.
Are we gonna be blessed with another sea shanty?
Only mildly sea themed this time.
Okay.
Yeah, more inspirational.
Not all the way under the sea, but something close.
Yeah. There's a little tie.
Halfway under the sea.
Coastal.
Just like up to the tip.
Ew.
Up to the bloody V.
I'm not even going to touch that.
Haley, how you doing? What are you excited for?
I have a lot of spells that will make sparks fly because there are a lot of electricity-based spells.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
fun.
I'm excited.
So you're not going to use ghost sound like 3 times?
I mean, I didn't say I wouldn't use it.
Oh, okay. So it's in the cards.
Duh.
All right. We'll see what happens. Brooks, what about you?
Ooh, well, I am super excited because Ikmer is currently blessed with hide from undead. So
Yeah, for 10
that'll
minutes,
be fun.
I do believe.
Yeah. And also this week I figured out that any food with the right minerals and vitamins and other nutrients makes a breakfast of champions.
I mean, I imagine that I imagine that Miami Vice is what you've been having for breakfast. You think that?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. All right, Steve.
And you're hiding from undead, and because can you confirm something for me? You are the party's tank, right?
Yeah, you did bless the tankiest character with hide from undead, so it's just gonna walk right past him.
I'm sorry. Seemed like a good idea.
Tactical error.
That's what happens when you've been drinking all session long.
All right, so what can we look forward to from Matumbe besides trying to collect all of the Infinity Stones?
Well, Matumbe is going to probably hit people with his book.
With his book?
Yeah.
Oh,
he carries around an iron-bound book of Pharasma, and he's gonna beat the shit out of people with it.
well, don't give people too much of a hint of what your archetype is.
Oh boy, because posting my character sheet online isn't enough of a hint.
Oh, yeah, well, that'll get him. So, guys, before we get into combat and roll for initiative, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce what we're going to be using as kind of our hero point system. So,
Griffin, what's a hero point?
So a hero point is something that your GM awards you as a player, and it generally confers, some sort of benefit. So some people use it to re-roll rolls. Some people use it to save them from death, that kind of thing. I'm going to use the hero deck because I bought it, and god damn it, we're going to use it more than once. So what I want us to do is basically when you're awarded a hero point, you will draw a hero card from the deck. Now, the hero cards have alignments, kind of like your characters. So I went with just the good, the neutral, and the evil spectrum. So if you draw a hero card that is good, it gives you advantage. Now, what advantage is you can cash in the card to roll one of your rolls twice, take the better result. The neutral hero cards will be a +5 bonus after you have rolled. So say you're sitting on a card, you really need to make that diplomacy check. You rolled, you got a 13, bam, it's an 18 if you cash in that card. Or maybe your will save was a 10, bam, 15. So we're going to use those that way. Now the evil hero cards are to give me disadvantage. So when you cash in an evil hero card, I will have to roll twice on whatever check that you decide. So, if one of my monsters needs to make a save, or if I'm attacking at you and you really don't want me to hit, you really don't want me to confirm that critical, you can play that card. And I think it wouldn't be right if I didn't award the first hero card of the game to our own Matumbe for that epic 10-minute long speech. He inundated us with some backstory last week, and I think he's deserving of the podcast's first hero card.
Thank you, Griffin. I really appreciate it. I'm going to pull from the middle of the deck.
Okay.
Let's see what I got here. Evil.
All right.
Evil. I don't know what it is.
So that is the Crows, an evil hero card. That means, you can hold on to that, write it down in your journal, because I believe Lyra's character actually needs to use hero cards, so we might need to put that back in the deck. But write it down. You got an evil hero card that you can cash in at whatever time you would like.
Awesome.
So,
apologies to the listening audience for a 10-minute monologue.
I think people liked it. I think they liked it. So with that, could I get some creepy ambiance, Steve? Because I think we're ready.
Ambiance or battle music?
Well, it might turn one way. You don't know what's in this crypt. Pretty blind.
I think I can hook up a little something for you.
All right. So you guys are in this crypt. And where I left you, Ikmer had just slid the lid off of this stone coffin. And Lyra had detected before that there was magic in the coffin. Several different auras emanating from within. As Ikmer slides the lid of the coffin off, though, you all hear, without having to make a perception check, a bang from your left. And Ikmer and Eclipse, you can see that one of the coffins stored inside the wall has slid out and crashed onto the floor, spilling its skeletal contents on the ground. You look for a second, 2, nothing, no movement. I need everybody to make me a perception check.
Eclipse got 15.
6.
10 total.
17.
Ooh. 17? I'm sorry. That's just not enough. Until they get too close to react to, you hear skittering. And it gets louder as 2 attacks come out. One at Matumbe and one at Lyra. As we start the surprise round of combat. Lyra, does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
Matumbe, an 11.
Hell no.
Hell no? Alright. This is where it gets interesting, Lyra. Because you can see that from the darkness, and potentially from out where that coffin fell, is a giant centipede. That had come out of the walls, and you could see this vile green bile coming off of its claws as it sinks its claws into you for 5 damage. And I need you to make me a fortitude save.
I got an 11.
Oh, Lyra.
You might be all right.
Lyra, you start to feel clumsy. You try to form words, but your lips don't seem to want to move as quickly as you're used to.
Can I even sing anymore?
Yes, you can, but you do take 2 points of dexterity damage. And with that, I need everybody to roll initiative as combat has begun.
Eclipse got 11.
11 for Eclipse.
18 here.
Ooh, 18 for Ikmer, coming in big.
Got me. I got a 17 from Matumbe.
Matumbe is 17. Lyra?
7.
Ooh, yeah, that dexterity damage coursing through your veins. So if you guys can now place the pawns to Lyra's right and Matumbe's left, or my right and left, you see these centipedes now, and they're in full view of everybody, but it's still dark. So if they move away from Lyra and Matumbe, you're going to have to roll concealment to hit them.
Unless you have dark vision, right?
If you have dark vision, you're 100% good. So, at the top of the order, Ikmer.
All right. Seeing as how these centipedes are to the south of Ikmer, I guess the farthest away, about farthest away in the crypt from the tomb, he will take a 5-foot step south and attack the centipede. Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit. Roll for damage.
And 9 damage.
9 damage.
Nice.
You grab your spear and it hisses at you. You stab it right between the mandibles and twist. It drops lifelessly to the ground.
Aw, yeah, baby.
Make me a perception check.
All right. A 6.
A 6. Yeah, in the heat of battle, you just can't make anything out. You have this adrenaline rush from killing this centipede and don't really notice anything around you.
All right.
Okay, Matumbe.
All right, so basically Matumbe was sandwiched in between a centipede and Lyra, and then Ikmer hops back and stabs the thing. It drops dead. So Matumbe, the immediate threat right next to him, has been dispatched. He's going to slip in between a gap between Lyra and Ikmer, which puts him right next to the centipede that is directly threatening Lyra, that just took a big bite out of her, and he's going to he's got his book in his right hand. It's a big ironbound tome, and he just brings it down and bam, let's see if he can get a hit on this thing. That's a, let's see here, 17 to hit.
Ooh, that hits.
All right, so the book hits. He's going to roll some damage here. It's 9 points of damage.
That one as well. You just smack it with this book like an old lady smacking a bug with a newspaper, and it splats.
Just
You're like, oh no, I have to clean the pages now.
Ew.
Make me a perception check.
Right. Oh, not much better than this guy over here. That's an 8 total.
An 8 total. So you don't notice, as from where the coffin hit the ground, a creaking as a skeleton begins to rise, and another, and they shuffle towards the party from the corner of the room. They shuffle 10, 15 feet as one attacks Eclipse, who is next to the coffin. Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
A 16 hits. That is 6 points of damage as he slashes at you with the scimitar. The second skeleton, because you've killed the centipede so quickly, takes a step up next to its buddy and slashes at Matumbe. And misses with a 5 on the dice.
Vile undead creature.
Okay. Next in the order is Eclipse.
Okay. The skeleton is holding something metal, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Scimitar, baby. And he's wearing Well, make me a perception check.
That is a 19.
Yeah, you can tell that the shirt he's wearing kind of underneath his rags is a broken chain shirt. So he's kind of got metal on him.
So I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp on him. So this is casting defensively, right?
Yeah, you're currently threatened by him.
Yeah, you're
Right.
threatened by him. So if you cast offensively, it's a caster level check to use the spell, but it doesn't incur.
Okay, and then I also get a +3 because he's wearing metal to my check. So I'm
To your
Cast
cast defensively. Oh, nice.
That's wacky.
all right. I succeeded and passed my DC 17.
Nice.
So I'm now gonna do 1d6 points of damage.
Well, that's the cast defensively check. Is there no check on Shocking Grasp? Do I have a reflex save or do you have an attack roll, like a touch attack?
Oh yeah, no, I have an attack roll. Whoops.
So excited.
Yes. Yeah. 16 to hit.
That'll definitely hit his touch AC.
And that is 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. Is it increased by him wearing metal at all? Is that a thing?
No, just the ability to hit him.
The ability to hit him. I gotcha. So you hear him start to rattle in his chain, and he starts to sizzle, but he remains standing. Lyra, you're up.
All right, Lyra is a little shaken after getting hit, so she is going to take a 5-foot step away from, back away from the two skeletons towards the east. And she is going to attempt to sing, although it probably comes out a little bit more like a chant if she's having trouble.
She's got mush mouth right now?
Yeah. But it goes a little something like this. You may shoot us with your arrows. You may cut us with your knives. You may kill us with your hatefulness. But still, like the tide, we will rise. And it inspires courage in everyone.
Nice. I
And
like
that's her
that
turn.
one. I like that one a lot.
And I did not write that.
No?
No.
Okay. With Lyra done, it is Ikmer's turn again.
All right. Well, thankfully, Lyra took that 5-foot step back. So Ikmer is going to fill that space.
And take a 5-foot step forward towards the skeletons.
Toward the skeletons. And he will attempt to attack.
Is he attacking the one directly in front of him or angled?
Correct. The skeleton directly in front of him.
Okay.
And it is a piercing weapon.
That does matter.
It does. Okay. But, anyways, to attack. Does a 16 hit.
Exactly.
Awesome. Total
For damage.
damage, 10.
10? Even though you can tell it doesn't quite hurt him as much as you expected, somehow you get the angle just right where you get in between his ribs and provide some leverage and crack that skeleton's rib cage in half. And it kind of separates and falls into two piles on the ground. And you kill it.
Now your face looks like mine.
Ugh. Skinless and white?
Well.
Okay. Matumbe's up.
All right, so it looks like there's one skeleton left on the board. It's the one directly in front of Matumbe. Matumbe is going to do exactly what he did to the centipede and backhand him with the book. Fuck. That's a 9 total to hit. That does not
hit.
All right, and there's really nothing else I can do.
You gonna stay up in his face?
Yeah, I'm going to stab in his face.
Well, he did get damaged by this electricity from this Wyang next to him, and I think he's gonna retaliate. I don't think a 14 hits though.
Yeah, it does.
It does? All right.
Exactly.
She's a caster, bro.
Damage. Oof. 6 more points of damage.
Oof. Duh. What are those hit points looking like?
3.
Really?
Ouch.
You take toughness?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good thing for me right now. Uh-huh.
So he's going to attack, and I think he's going to stay up in your guys' grill. So that means it's Eclipse's turn now.
I got a question. How much did those centipedes weigh?
How much did they weigh?
Yes.
Oh, that would be an interesting thing to find out in the monster manual. I'm going to guess.
You didn't prepare this?
I'm going to guess they were about.
What are their names?
They were about. Since they're medium creatures, we'll say they're about 80 pounds each.
Oh, Jesus. Is there anything else around that looks fairly light?
A bone from a skeleton.
Yeah, the other skeleton had some bones.
Cool.
He had a scimitar that's probably less than 10 pounds.
Probably 3 pounds.
Less than 5
Yeah.
pounds.
Fine.
So I'm going to take a 5-foot step back away from the skeleton behind, kind of behind Motumbe. And I am going to cast Telekinetic Projectile. And I'm going to pick up the scimitar and have it whirl at this guy.
Okay.
So I need to make a range attack. Ooh, that was not great. I only rolled an 11, so that is 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay.
It kind of whizzes by him, and his legs are skinnier than normal legs, so it just misses his kneecap.
All right. Well, that was my turn. So.
Lyra, you're up. Are you continuing your song?
Yeah, I'll continue my song, and then I would also like to cast Cure Light Wounds on Eclipse.
Okay. Are you within
Oh,
touching
I need to
distance?
touch. So I'm going to take a 5-foot step north towards Eclipse. And then you got healed 8.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wow,
hell yeah.
Okay. With that, it's going to be Ikmer's turn again.
All right, so seeing as how Ikmer does know his way around battle pretty good, and Motumbe is to the east of the skeleton right next to him. Ikmer is going to be be on the west side of the skeleton, giving an Ikmer Motumbe sandwich for flanking bonus.
Okay.
So you got to move a couple
He's gonna
spaces
move.
here.
I
through
do.
threatened
I am already in a threatened square.
Yep. So if you want to move to where you're looking to move, you're going to incur attack of opportunity.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Even with Hide Undead still on?
Oh.
What?
That is still on. Well, so while we're on that topic, can you explain Hide from Undead to the listeners?
Yeah, so Hide from Undead for myself is a swift action, but normally it's a spell. Basically, it affects someone for 10 minutes per level. So right now, that's 1. Any non-intelligent undead creatures, so skeleton or zombie, they are automatically affected and act as though this creature's not there. Now, if this is intelligent, then they would get a will save, and that's a whole different thing. But basically, they just can't find him. It's like he's totally invisible to them almost.
Well, I forgot to mention, this is Dr. Skellington. He's very intelligent.
Then make the will
I'm
save.
kidding. So Ikmer, you move there unharmed.
Yeah. He notices it's quite strange that he after just killing his skeleton buddy, this skeleton that's still alive didn't notice anything. So he's going to take advantage of that. Sneak right behind him and get that flank bonus.
Well,
Yeah. So total to hit with the flank bonus and inspired courage.
Yeah.
We're going for 27.
Holy shit.
it's an
What
18
the
on the
hell?
die. Is that in your crit?
No, it's not on the crit range.
Oh, okay.
I was very excited for a second,
Damn. All right.
but even though he's still got that piercing weapon. So total of 6 damage.
1 damage, but that's all it needed.
How
How does Ikmer kill him?
It's gonna take him right behind the skull, lift his head right off his spinal column, and then with that, the body just completely falls. And then he's gonna take the spear and flip it around on the other side and splatter the skull everywhere.
Yeah, those extra splattery skulls.
Yep.
Did Ikmer play lacrosse in college? He just cradles the skull.
Just balances it on the top of the sphere and smashes it on the ground.
Okay. And with that, I think you guys are out of combat. So Steve, you could bring it back to Spoopy.
I was all over Spoopy.
Oh, good.
I was ready for that.
Okay, I'm just keeping up. So, you guys have killed these skeletons. You've killed these centipedes. Upon further surveillance of the room, and I know Lyra and Matumbe can't really see because it's dark, and for some reason no one cast light or brought a torch. But Ikmer and Eclipse can see that, likely the entrance of the centipedes from in the earth behind the coffins led to them getting disturbed, and then the skeletons rising up. So you have a couple things that Ikmer saw for a brief second in the coffin. Are you guys going to check those out?
Yeah, I'm right by the coffin right now, and I will take a peek in.
Okay. You take a peek in. You see all kinds of stuff. You see a crossbow that looks maybe a little valuable if you made a appraise check. You see all kinds of bolts, crossbow bolts. You see...
No nuts and bolts?
No nuts and bolts. Well, Ikmer's standing nearby, so you see some nuts and bolts. You see what appear to be a couple of scrolls, a couple of files filled with liquid, and you see a dark wood box with a golden scarab on the clasp.
Just like the book.
What are you guys doing? Lyra, if you were to detect magic again, you would see it on a couple of things in there.
Can I pinpoint which objects, or just that there's multiple in there?
Yeah, so, if you take your time and detect magic for 3 rounds, you can tell that it looks like the crossbow bolts are magical.
Ooh.
It looks like the files of liquid are all magical. It looks like the scrolls are magical, obviously. And you can see a couple auras emanating from the Darkwood box.
Can I make some spellcraft and appraise checks?
You certainly can. If you guys all want to piggyback on one check, I can kind of give you a couple, depending on how high it is.
Okay.
Just so you're not making one for every...
Can I roll any of those untrained by chance?
I don't think you can for spellcraft.
Not spellcraft.
I don't know about appraise.
Can I try to aid the spellcraft, whoever
You certainly can.
ends up making that? Okay.
I don't know. What's your bonus?
4?
Oh,
Minus 7.
I should
Okay.
be able to
I'll try to aid
do
you then.
appraise.
All right, well then we can do appraise together. I have a +3 to my appraise.
I have a
so I'll roll and
+7
you wanna
to
boost?
appraise.
Yeah, Haley's going to be good for the
Yeah.
appraise, too.
So I have an 18. Did you?
Yes.
I have a 20.
Okay, a 20. So that's going to give
On
you pretty
spellcraft.
much everything that's magical outside of what's inside the box, because obviously you haven't opened it and seen what's inside. So you got a couple of cool things. You got...
He's going to the notebook.
Well, the first thing I'll mention is that we're going to do potions a little bit differently. It's kind of like a house rule, a third-party rule from our good buddy at Eldritch Dream.
Oh boy.
But I think it really kind of livens up nobody takes craft potion except for an alchemist. This might be a reason why you might want to. So what you find are 2 filters of lesser restoration and 4 filters of cure light wounds. Now, the difference between a filter and a regular potion is that it contains 2 servings of the potion. In essence, a filter of lesser restoration is 2 castings of lesser restoration.
Oh, cool.
The benefit you get there is, and you can get them from, 1 serving up to 5, and they're really expensive at 5, but what it does is it kind of frees up your action economy. So if you had a potion that had 3 gulps in it of cure light wounds, you could use a round to drink them.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
No.
So it kind of makes the anyone that has played Pathfinder knows that you buy a wand of cure light wounds as your first item, and every time you're out of combat, you beat the shit out of the fighter with it until he's back to full health. These are kind of cool because as a potion, if you only drink 1 serving and you want to refill it, it costs less. Costs less than a regular potion. So, interesting stuff there. You actually see, so the rest of the magic items, you have 10 +1 bolts, 5 +1 ghost touch bolts, and 2 +1 undead bane bolts.
Oh, baby.
You also...
Hang on, how many undead ones?
2 undead bane.
Huh. Okay.
On top of that, actually, can you roll your appraise check?
Absolutely.
I aided with that.
You aided
a
with the
13.
I ate as well.
All right. So
We're
I
all
got-
crowded over it.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 15. 15.
That's going to be in the mid-20s, especially with the
22
aids.
plus what? 4?
4,
So 26.
Okay, so you pretty much know what all of this is. You can tell the crossbow is a masterwork light crossbow. You can tell that there are a couple of bolts that weren't glowing. There's a dozen silver bolts. With your detect magic, you can tell that there are 4 sun rods.
Oh, we should probably use one of those right now.
There is a scroll of detect undead and 2 scrolls of hide from undead.
Neat.
And that's the magic items you found that aren't inside of the Darkwood box.
Can I open the box?
What's
Yep.
in the box?
What's in the
Yeah. What is it? What is it?
Yeah, you can definitely open it. You open it and you see a board.
Is it a Ouija board?
Oh, I bet it's a code or a
It is,
legend.
in fact, what is more or less commonly known as a spirit planchette. A board with letters and a yes and no on it. And you detect magic on this.
Oh, I was way off.
Can I spellcraft this and then also
Definitely
use
not
it?
a Ouija.
You certainly can. Spellcraft it.
Okay.
God.
I'll attempt to aid you again.
Tiptoeing around that copyright.
Ooh. I definitely aid. I got a natural 20
Oh,
to
dang.
aid.
That means I have a 28 because I got a 19.
28. Damn, where were these rolls every other episode but this?
I don't know. I was doing pretty good.
Yeah. So you know that this is a brass spirit planchette. It can be used to communicate with spirits. And in this game, that means it actually does. So you can use it, and as you get better and better spirit planchettes, the spirits have a better chance of giving you valuable information.
Can we talk to a specific spirit? Or
You
is
can
it
try.
okay? So like maybe we could try to talk to Professor Lorimore.
You could try.
Exactly what I was
Exactly,
thinking,
yeah.
yeah.
Me too.
The other things you find in here are 4 vials. And they don't look like your standard potions. Matumbe, can you make me a knowledge religion?
I sure can. Oh. It's not good. That's a 10 total.
A 10 total.
I am so bad at rolling.
And we'll kind of roll over the spellcraft check on the board. So Eclipse knows that these are magical. They are divine magic.
Ooh.
Matumbe knows that these are what's called a haunt siphon. But he doesn't know much more.
No. I have read about this.
He knows that they can be used against haunts, but he doesn't really know what they do.
Does he communicate any of this?
Likely. Right? You're
I don't
following
know,
the same
does he?
stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know, does he?
Maybe
Don't tell
I
me
do.
what-
I
don't
guess
tell my
I
character
do.
what he does.
I would like to keep those away from me, please.
Away from you. All
Yep.
right.
I will hand them off to someone else and then look kind of disgusted, like, ugh.
All right. Well, if you hand them to Ikmer would just end up putting them back.
And I will
Yeah,
take
give him to
them
Lyra. Give
From
him to Lyra.
Ikmer.
We'll see.
For safekeeping.
Ikmer is going to say, "Wow, this is pretty cool stuff. All right, I'm gonna put it back now."
I don't need this. Don't know what it does.
Well, he's more doing it out of in his mind he's stealing these things
Gotcha. Yeah.
because he was
The dead have no use for these items anymore. We pay them respect, obviously. We pray. We inter them in the dirt, but they do not need their worldly possessions.
well, I mean, if they're all the way down here in this tomb, it kind of seemed like somebody was gonna come find them. So you know, they're probably still looking for them.
Well, they were Professor Loremore's, and he wanted us to have them. Remember? He wrote that in the journal.
Oh, that is true. As
Lyra,
long
make
as
me
it's
a
not
bluff check. Ikmer, sense motive, please.
you might be.
I only rolled a 2, so it's a 7.
Hey, well, twinsies. We're twinning because I didn't put any points into sense motive.
Okay.
So I actually
7.
convince you while slurring my words.
I think Professor Lorimer won't let them have that.
Well, I guess as long as it's not stealing, that makes sense. But all right.
Okay. So you guys got all these pretty cool items. And I'll let you kind of divvy them up off air. But I imagine at this point you probably leave the crypt. This is clearly the cache of supplies that Lorimore had mentioned. And it does seem pretty geared towards dealing with the undead. I mean, these bolts alone worth a ton of gold. And, you know, that you got silver, you got undead bane, you got ghost touch, you got +1, which, you know, helps you with incorporeal creatures. These are going to be really useful. So I think the one thing I would ask you guys to divvy up is, who's taking that masterwork like crossbow? I gotta know.
Anybody have a higher dex in order to use range?
My dex is at 14.
Yeah, mine's 14 as well.
I only have a 12, and right now it's only at a 10 because of the damage.
Yeah, I got a 12 too, so.
But, I mean, 3 of the 4 of you are frontline fighters. So even with a 10, it might be better suited for Lyra to have it.
Yeah,
I would say either Lyra or Eclipse. That way, Eclipse could whip it out anytime. Like, if she really doesn't want to, or can't cast anything.
I know someone else who'd like to whip it out anytime. In proximity to Eclipse.
I softballed that one in there for you.
Yeah, I know you did. I appreciate that. Sometimes we need a quick win. Okay, so
real quick, to settle this, I think it would be best if Lyra takes it because a lot of my spells are touch attacks anyways.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, sure. That works.
Neat.
I'm on board.
Okay, so you guys
Right, very agreeable.
exit the crypt, I'm guessing, unless you want to search around.
I don't know. As far as I know, Ikmer didn't take anything. Is that cool with you guys?
I don't think Ikmer could use most of the stuff.
No, he
Well,
probably couldn't.
there's still some stuff we can divide.
I know, he can hold the
Yeah.
sun rod.
Yeah, let's-
sun rod after it's
I mean, you could
activated.
drink a potion.
Yeah, you could drink a potion.
Yeah, but I don't need to.
I mean, you could drink one of the lesser restorations to restore your dex, but a night's sleep should
Yeah.
remove 1 point of that damage at least.
Well-
So.
Yeah, I was thinking of waiting.
It's also the middle of the night right now.
Well, it's not the middle. You guys headed out to the graveyard like just past dark.
Okay. Okay.
So you're heading back to town. You're heading back through the Restlands. And you notice, after you've come up from this crypt, before it was pretty much a pitch black night. Now there's this mist. And this fog lays kind of heavy around the tombstones to the point where you can barely see the tops of them.
Ikmer, you are from Ustalav, correct?
Yeah? What of it?
Well, the mist seems awfully suspicious this time of night. Does this surprise you, or is this regular for this climate?
Yeah, you're right. I hadn't even noticed, that it is quite strange.
We should be on our guard.
That's a good point.
So I guess Ikmer would have his shield out and ready then,
Okay. So
and leading the pack.
leading the pack. So you guys head out of the Restlands, kind of shiftily looking side to side, making sure, you've just seen your first undead of the campaign. So you're likely, looking for graves that move and spooks in the middle of the night. You make your way out of the Restlands and between the Restlands and Loramore's estate, which I assume is where you're heading back to, you have to walk through the town square. And I think this might be kind of a good thing for you guys to do anyway. You can obviously avoid it, but maybe you want to check up on the memorial now that it's night.
Before we do that, can I cast Cure Light Wounds on myself?
You certainly can.
All right. Oh, another 8 points. So I'm back to full health. Okay, we can continue. Sorry.
Okay. So you guys walk. Are you going up to like the memorial and that kind of thing? You just check on it, or are you just gonna?
Sure. Let's go check on the statue.
Okay. So you see the memorial unguarded, which maybe seems kind of weird to you guys considering what just happened to it. You're looking and nobody's around the memorial, but beyond the memorial, you see kind of this.
Hang on.
Someone singing.
What?
This is
try to get some
memorial
singing.
music brought to you by DJ Strap-On.
Hey, I'm just trying to get some. Are we still recording here?
Obviously.
Oh yeah. Oh, fucking Christ. Okay.
Lyra really liked the song.
Thank
Just
you.
throwing
I wanted to get some good like ambiance for being in the center of town.
Well, I mean, Scarborough Fair is great ambiance for that. You just throw that on.
All right. Well, just put the spooky shit back on.
So you guys,
Thanks, Steve.
perfect. So you guys see beyond the memorial, and maybe you haven't really explored this part of town yet, other than kind of looking around the statue itself. But there's kind of a row of hedges beyond the memorial, and looks like there's maybe a fountain beyond it. And I need you guys to make me a perception check.
Do I have a bonus with dark vision?
Not a bonus.
Or, I guess, not a bonus?
Yeah, I mean, it's town square. It's not...
Okay, so it's
We'll
not
call
like
it
dark.
dim light.
It's not like
Yeah.
dark.
What'd everybody get?
11.
16.
10.
7.
You want to say that a little louder?
7.
Matumbe? Okay.
7. I rolled a fucking garbage perception roll
Oh,
again.
not again. So Eclipse is the only one that sees in the dim light a pale silhouette of what looks like a small child
Oh, so it looks kind of like me.
dressed in all white,
Not like me.
pale skin, black hair, almost appears to be flowing towards the fountain beyond.
Oh no.
Probably a ghost, but also you're still describing me. Black hair, pale skin.
Oh, you're like sickly gray or some shit. So what do you
Totally
do?
different.
What do you do? And at this point, I'm gonna need to bring out another map.
Oh, man.
Neato.
So you guys see this fountain in front of you, and it's kind of lined around it by tall hedges, and there are some pathways up to it, and what Eclipse has just seen is this ghostly looking child. What do you do?
Eclipse is gonna, I think, nudge Ick, who also has dark vision.
You can all
Oh,
see
okay.
at this
There's,
point
like,
because
lights?
it's dim.
Okay. Gonna nudge Ick, though, and just, like, kind of point it out. And probably... Yeah, that's probably it right now. Just, like... I know I'm worried about it. I don't know what the hell it is. So I would nudge Ick to, like, make sure someone else sees us.
Okay. So Ikmar, you can see this little girl.
Okay.
And you probably, I assume you all let each other know that it's there, and you can see it go up to the fountain,
What's wrong with her?
and it looks like it's placing something in the fountain.
So the fountain is the circle? to
Yes,
the south?
the white circle in the middle of kind of the circle-like courtyard you see in front of you.
Okay.
Alright.
It's about 25, 30 feet away about.
I mean, if no one else is gonna move, Eclipse is gonna start walking up to it. She's concerned, but, like, not actually that afraid of this. So she's gonna walk her full speed 20 feet up.
Are you stealthing, or are you just walking?
No, I'm gonna walk up.
I mean, if Eclipse is walking up, I feel like the rest of us should.
Yeah.
Well, you can take the
Oh,
lead
that
of
is
the
a
way.
concern. You rolled.
Oh boy.
Without making a stealth check.
Yeah.
The ghostly little girl snaps her head towards Eclipse
Eclipse will wave.
and screams.
Don't like that.
Ah! Who are you? Matumbe, make me a perception check.
Let me take a closer look.
Oh, yeah, that feels good. All right. 23 total.
23. Because you have ranks in knowledge religion, you can tell that this is a living girl.
Little girl, are you okay? You by yourself? It's getting late.
What? Why are you here? Why are you here?
We are just passing through back to the Lower Moor estate.
Wait, I know you. I know both of you. You're Lyra and E. And you guys recognize her as one of the little girls you saw playing jump rope earlier.
Ooh.
Hi, what are you doing out this late?
I'm paying respects.
Who are you paying respects to?
My pet.
What was your pet's name?
His name was Aronel.
What kind of animal was it?
He was a raven.
Ooh, I love birds. Tell me more.
Well, my mommy and daddy, they say an animal attacked him. I found his feathers by the fountain.
Oh no.
I'm coming here every night. I want to put flowers here. I know that this is where he went missing. But I don't believe Mommy and Daddy. I don't think an animal attacked him.
What do you think happened?
There's this man. This man that always gave me strange looks whenever I was with Aronel. He would stare at me and then shuffle away. He scared me.
Can you tell me what he looked like?
I know who he was.
Who?
His name's Antrellis.
Oh, fucking hell. That's not good. Eclipse is gonna kind of go even more pale than normal.
Okay.
And probably stay mostly silent and look at, like, stare daggers at Lyra, like, this is the person who was in my window!
So Lyra definitely believes what Eclipse saw now after hearing the confirmation from the girl. So yeah, definitely believes Eclipse story now.
Okay.
I'm not crazy.
And then she'll ask the little girl, do you think he did something to your bird?
I think he hated my bird.
Why? Why would he hate your bird if it was nice to you?
I don't know. I don't know. He just wouldn't leave us alone.
Could your bird talk? Did you talk with your bird?
Sometimes he could say a word, maybe two.
Like, what kind of things did he say to you?
I taught him to say hello, and
Oh, that's cute.
and he could say goodbye to my friends. Those are what he usually said.
Sounds like a very smart bird.
I thought he was too.
Where did you ever see Antrellis?
He was sometimes around town.
Just walking around?
He would never be in the middle of the street. Around the corners of houses, behind benches and bushes.
This is like creep factor times 10. Like, what the hell is wrong with him?
Yeah, he's a character.
So, you know, it's like 11 or midnight at this point. Are you guys, you know, gonna try and get this little girl home? Are you gonna, you know?
Yes.
I mean, she said basically she's gonna keep doing this.
Ichabod's not thinking about that. He's thinking about, I guess, righting wrongs, going after this Antrellis.
Going after Antrellis?
Yeah.
You will turn to Ikmer and say, we have to keep this little girl safe, and then we need to go figure out this guy. Gotta protect her. Can you protect her?
Oh, okay, yeah. You're right. I almost forgot what I do for a living.
So what are you saying to her?
Lyra would turn to the girl and just say, you know what? We're going to figure out what happened to your bird, so you don't have to keep coming out here. We'll make sure we get to the bottom of it. Can we walk you home to make sure you get home safe tonight?
Make me a diplomacy check. And Eclipse can aid if she...
Yeah, Eclipse will aid.
Or make her on whatever you want to do.
Eclipse aids.
Okay, so then I got a 13 with the aid.
So
Great.
she says,
Oh, okay. I'll let you walk me home, but I'm coming back. I'm not gonna leave him here.
Well, maybe next time, take your mom or dad with you.
Leave him here?
one more diplomacy check.
Little girl is...
Uh.
Is the bird still here?
This is where I found his feathers. This is where I think he died.
His spirit is here, Motumbe. Be respectful.
The spirit of a bird is no longer in this mortal plane.
Motumbe, stop.
Lear rolled a 23 on her diplomacy.
So she's convinced that she'll, talk to her parents about it. And she's also helpful in, pointing you guys in the right direction to walk her to her house. So as you guys start to kind of make your way away from the fountain, I need you all to make me a perception check.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, not good for Eclipse. I got 9.
14.
20 total.
13.
Motumbe, as you walk past the fountain, you see, as if out of nowhere, the fountain's bubbling, and it starts to whisper. And you see, as if from nowhere, black feathers fall and float on the water. And as soon as you kind of look away and look back, they're gone. And then you start to hear, and it sounds distant at first, but gets louder. Cawing from the sky, but also from right in front of you.
Oh dear.
And Motumbe is the only one to see this as 4 huge ravens materialize from the fountain. And before we roll for initiative, you guys know what I'm going to say?
No.
Yep.
Finish your drinks. Because we'll see you next week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
But Eclipse isn't crazy. Someone else has seen this.
Yeah, for once, Eclipse
That is
isn't
nice.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's nice.
And I tell nobody.
God damn it.